take a picture. Okay, so hi guys. I don't know if this just started over or what, but anyway. Okay, so we're going to talk about David Hawkins' emotional scale on from 0 to 1,000, what it takes to reach enlightenment, essentially. So, what kind of emotions, even though you're not emotions, you these are guideposts essentially to where you are in your frequency. So, what kind of state you are generally being, and these are the emotions that will kind of show up along with many other manifestations, such as the people that you run into, the kind of jobs you attract, the money that you attract, the abundance, the life you attract, the tribe you attract, the partners that you attract. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy with these relationships, because a lot of times what they're doing is they're triggering you so that you can bring up these emotions and release them. So it doesn't mean you're in an abusive relationship. That's a different story. Okay, so if somebody's actually, doesn't mean it's necessarily different. So if somebody is being physically abusive, though, then you have an obligation to protect the body. It's not, I'm not saying your body, I'm saying the body. It is not you, you are not the body, but it is the vehicle that your spirit, soul, and energy, your mind rides around in, essentially. It's where your avatar, it is your avatar in this 3D, third dimension. Okay, so let's talk about David Hawkins' emotional scale. I did a little down and dirty note for myself, and I just don't really even want to show it to you guys because I was just writing my notes for myself. And it would be, but you can definitely Google this and look it up yourself to get the nice little graph charts and everything, lots of them. Okay, so again, they're showing you where you are, okay, these emotions, because it is what you're attracting. Essentially, these hungry, some of them will be hungry ghosts, as Gabor Mate, Gabor Mate, M-A-T with an apostrophe E, M-A-T. It looks like Gabor Mate. He's an addiction trauma specialist, and he talks about them in the form, as well as Buddhism and other philosophies talk about it as hungry ghosts that will show up as emotions. And so when you're on the lower end of this scale, yes, you're going to be having these certain uncomfortable, unpleasant feelings come to you, and they need love just like love does, right? They need acceptance, and because we are the creator of them, just as we are the creator of our world, and we are therefore also the savior of our world because it's our world. That's why you are the savior of your world, because it's yours, you created it. Doesn't mean that you are the only expression of the divine, but you're the only expression of the divine, and you're the operant power in your world. That's a blessing and a curse. So it can feel like a curse. It's a blessing because if it's broke, you can fix it. That's because you created it, so you can let it go. But it may require healing and loving everything that you created. That's how love alchemizes all of this. Perfect love casts out fear, as well as perfect fear cast out love. So we can choose. If you're full of fear, you're going to cast away love from you. You're going to, which is not really possible, but you'll blind yourself to it. Just because you close your eyes or doesn't mean something is non-existent. It just is non-existent to you because you have closed your eyes to it, essentially. So, and then when you awaken and open your eyes, there it is. Beautiful, right? Okay. So let's get on with the scale. So my name is Lakshmi Anand. You can call me Lux for short. All right. So, okay, so we're going to start at the bottom of the scale and note where you dwell mostly. Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 1,000, so shame is at the bottom of the scale. And notice these hungry goats, ghosts want you to feel shame. I'm not good enough. I'm broken. I've been defiled. I have defiled others. Um, I shouldn't have done that. I'm not worthy, etc. So shame is a really self identity issue, and the hungry ghost will show up and really reinforce that there's just something ick about you, right? You just can't stand to look in the mirror. That's at a 20 on the scale, very low. So this is where self-forgiveness and self-acceptance and knowing that you're a child of the one source, the one creator, that doesn't make junk, is, forgives, and there's a reason that things have happened. There's a reason, and it is not who you are. You are perfect creation of the one creator. Even though you are the operant power in this world, this is not the only world, right? That's what we need to accept. So how is that? Because there are many worlds and paradigms that have been created, multiverses, parallel realities, etc. I didn't make this up. Okay, there's others. Even though my experience confirms it, and what the downloads I've gotten has confirmed it. Many other scientists and physicists, philosophies, etc., will confirm this to you. If you're new to these kind of concepts, this channel is maybe not for you. And no offense, but you've got to do your homework to understand this. It's basically advanced geometry, or whatever you want to call it, or language. So let's move on. Shame is at 20. Guilt is a little bit less about your own identity and is more about kind of your behavior, what you did. So you may not take it to the core of you. You may just be like, oh, shouldn't have done that. I feel guilty about that. It's a little bit better. It's at a 30. But it doesn't have to do, at least, with your core identity. Apathy is the next level up. And as Abraham Hicks talks about, that we may just want to reach for that little bit better feeling, okay? So apathy, just being like, I just don't want to do anything because I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I'm apathetic to the situation. It's actually a little bit better. It's not neutrality by any means, but it's being apathetic, because it can be like the flight or fear, fight, flight, or freeze. You're in a freeze zone. So you may be, you're frozen essentially because of trauma. Don't shame yourself for it, because you'll go back down. So you're at apathy. You're basically resting. So you're resting, but in not a great, the highest version of resting, such as neutrality, etc. So you're resting because you're apathetic. You're kind of hopeless. You're not that you're hopeless, but you feel hopeless. It is an experience. So it's at 50. The next level is grief, or excuse me, yes, it's grief. Grief is when we've lost somebody. Yes, we will sink. We'll maybe doing great, really high up there, but then we'll hit a trigger. Somebody has died or passed, or we have lost. A divorce can be huge. Relationship loss, etc. Not being able to see our kids or our family. Grief, is out of 75, will plummet, okay? Next, and you may be there for a while, and it is good to just say, it's okay to be here, for a while, and that will actually bring you up. But however, it's painful, and so you may fear the pain. Fear is at 100. The fear is, yeah, 100. Okay, so we're talking, we need to get somewhere, we're going towards 1,000, right? That seems impossible, but in fear, fear is cast out love. Perfect fear cast out love. So your fear is in 100. Next level up, just above fear, is, believe it or not, desire, longing. And that's a state where a lot of people confuse, and it's difficult, confusing desire with, there's a type of desire that is a longing of unfulfillment. Rather than embodying the desire, God gives us the desires of our heart. But if we have a desire, but if we will internally give it to ourselves and fulfill that a state of being within ourselves, it's not a desire in that it is something that we feel that the glass is half empty, and it's a longing, but we have learned to fulfill that desire within ourselves and be satisfied in that in ourselves. And that can be a very difficult concept to not only conceptualize but to embody. So I want to create, not see things as the condition, a condition of lack, but I want to have a state of being that I am actually, that desire shows me that I'm going to have that thing is mine actually. So I can actually, if you all want to go into another video about how to embody the state of having, to those that have, more will be given. How do I embody the state of having when I felt this desire, which is a roadmap to, is the roadmap to pointing the way. But it brings you down, according to this scale, to 125. However, if I immediately know how to embody the state of fulfillment, the end state of fulfillment of that desire, I will bring myself back up to much higher levels, even joy. Okay, so I don't think actually there is peace. Okay, so next level up, but beyond desire, it's actually like, if my desire is not fulfilled, then I may move into anger that it's not fulfilled, and frustration, right? That's around 150. It's a little higher than desire. So higher than desire. So it's actually better. And that's what Abraham will talk about. How do I reach that next level? Sometimes I don't want to have that desire because it's frustrating. It angers me that I don't have it. So I get this anger, which is a little higher. Then I can get this, actually higher than that is pride. Not that pride is really, it's 175. So there's a type of pride in that I am proud of myself. I am working towards things. We're talking about the pride that is more, it's ego-based, sure, but it says I'm heading in a direction. I have self-worth, essentially, maybe in an egoic way, but I have it. It's at 175. Then we can reach a state of neutrality, where this is a great 200 is kind of the next level. We're out of the red zone, essentially. I'm becoming neutral. I'm not in the realm of anger and pride and desire or lust. I've come out of those into neutrality, and I'm kind of questioning those things. So in my body, embodying that, starting to embody, like, oh, I've done that, I've done desire, it wasn't fulfilling, I desired these superficial things, and it wasn't fulfilling, in that I found out what I didn't want, kind of. by seeking those things out. And I'm like, I've been there, done that, burnt the t-shirt, and I'm realizing that those things were not actually really internally fulfilling. But I needed to experience that. I needed to know that, and now I know. That's some of the wisdom of what we gain in life, right? And the letting go of those things, and as we mature, we let go of some of those things that we thought we wanted, but we realized that we didn't. Okay, so we're getting into a stage of neutrality. Then we're going into courage. Courage now, we're at a state, is at 250. We're getting in a really good realm here. 250 is, we're starting to have courage. It doesn't mean there's not fear. However, it is starting to be not so important to have fear. We're starting to question that fear. We're starting to say, you know what? I'm going to do that anyway. I may fail. I may not win. But I'm going to give it a good shot. I'm scared, but I'm going to do it. That's courage. We're questioning it. We're moving forward. We may have to push ourselves. We may have symptoms. But we're pushing ourselves into questioning fear. And then what we find out as we go in there, we're starting to get, now it's changing into, hey, you know what? This isn't so bad. I can do this. I'm willing to do this. So willingness is at 300, a little over 300, 310. So we're starting to have willingness. And if 12-step programs even, you'll see the how of it: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. You have to be willing to go to any length to have change. We let go of all of our old ideas lest our results were nil, our results are void. But willingness was the key. So we're starting to find out, we're starting to have courage, and then we go into willingness because we're finding out, like, oh, that, the fear was nothing. So I'm courage. I'm bucking up against fear regularly now. And I'm in willingness because it's not so bad. I can do this. We're willing, and we're willing to go as far as we can. So now we're going beyond even courage. We're willing. We're bumped up to 310. We're in a good zone now. Then we can get into the place of acceptance, which is another form of surrender. So we accept what we're seeing in the 3D, and now we know it's not the end result. Willingness is taking us to surrender to what we see out here because we know we can deal with it. I accept what I see out here in the 3D because I know that I'm the operant power and things can change, or I'm going to see this differently. So there will either be a way to see it differently, or there will be an actual faith. You always have faith in that things can change. And that I'm going to change my mind about the situation. I'm going to work on how I see things. So now we have surrender. We're more at peace about accepting the things that we see. Dog outside barking. I don't know if you hear that. Confirmation. And then we can move on into, now we're jumping far up there into reason. Now we've learned so much. We have reason. We're seeing things with perspective. We're balanced. We're reasonable. And we're not so upset by things. Then next, now we're at love. 500. An unconditional love. Not just eros love, erotic love, but we're at unconditional love because we're balanced. We're not judgmental of others or ourselves. We're at love at 500, which casts out fear. At 600, we move into peace. And what's the next step? Joy is in there. And we're in the realm of joy and peace, that joy that's like unshakable, that passes all understanding. And then at 700 to 1,000, according to this scale, is enlightenment. You have awakened. So we can fluctuate through these stages. I encourage you to go look up the charts. There's many of them, and just to keep them for your reference, and what state am I embodying. So as Bashar says, you know, conditions don't matter if I'm wanting to realize an outcome. Conditions don't matter. State of being matters. State of being is all that matters. So I hope you enjoyed this message today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please comment, and let me know if you want to know about anything I may have skipped over, so that I will know which videos I should make and what you all want to know more about. Until then, till next time, you have a great day so that you may have a great life. It's okay to cry, and let go those hungry ghosts. Feel them, nurture them. They disappear, they dissolve. Okay? So they're just little hungry ghosts. They won't harm you. Don't hold on to them though. Bye for now.